Hello friends, this is Target Mains 2022, a series of videos aimed at clearing Mains 2022. The first topic that we are going to see is 10th schedule. The source for this video will be the Hindu newspaper and the articles related to the editorials which came around July 1st. And my name is J.Sivarajarajendran, and with that information, we'll go into the video. So as you can see, I keep stressing on the fact that reading newspaper is very essential, and if you please check this for mains, it is around July 1st and the week surrounding that, the issue of anti-defection law, because it was related to the issue which is going in Maharashtra, is in news, and hence I think this question and this issue might be very important for mains this time. And there were not one, rather there were many editorials based on this 10th schedule which was asked, and hence this forms a very important topic for mains 2022. So the first thing is the importance, or the important thing that we have to note down is that the year in which this 10th schedule was formed, the 10th schedule is 1985, and it was formed during the prime ministership of Rajiv Gandhi, and this was formed as a result because earlier there were a lot of people who were changing political parties, and in order to prevent that, in order to have an clean administration or clean government, they formed this 10th schedule where they prohibited this, or they stopped this movement of legislator from one party to another because of corruption and many other inducements which were happening. And hence, now we have to see what are the conditions necessary. So the 10th schedule has a slight condition for disqualification. So these two disqualifications were there. The first was this voluntarily giving up of membership. So this was the first point. Somebody gives up the membership of the party in which they have been recognized or been selected, they can be disqualified. The second one is this issuing of whip. Issuing of whip is when a party is giving you a whip for voting for or giving you direction for voting for a particular law or particular motion or particular any case it may be. So without that recognition or without permission of the party, if the person votes against it, then the party can, or this disqualification can come. Because this was earlier paid, or there were paid questions, or there could be corruption involved, and hence this concept of whip, and when whip is issued, the person cannot actually go against it. And this was asked as a question. This was a mains question. In case of critically analyzed, they asked if individual MLA or individual MP, the powers, or what they meant was individual MP and MLA, are they losing their voice because of this 10th schedule? As you can see very well, when the party is issuing a whip, the person or the legislator cannot go against it. And hence there was a question in mains earlier which asked for the critical analysis of 10th schedule as well. But what that we have to keep in mind, but we have to keep in mind the conditions as well. So the conditions are two, and this was the case. And earlier one exception was given. So everything in life has an exception. Similarly, 10th schedule had an exception which said that if, for example, 1/3 of the party, 1/3 of the members of the party are actually splitting. So this was the case for split earlier. So if they split, then it could not be or come under disqualification, and the legislator cannot be disqualified. But this 1/3 also was misused at a large scale. See, for example, at some legislators or some legislatures, there can be parties with let us assume that 3 members. So 3 members when you have, so at least one member if it goes. So in many of the legislatures, this one vote becomes a very important issue. This one vote can turn around the no confidence motion in many of the state legislatures. This can be not true in the case of parliament, but in the case of state assemblies, this one vote becomes a very important thing. And hence this 1/3 split was again used by members for nefarious and corruption activities, and this was resulting in a lot of problem, which was denying the 10th schedule, or the objective of of the 10th schedule, why it was brought. And hence what happened in Vajpayee government. So this was 2003, which where the Vajpayee government, which was there, brought down an amendment act which removed the above permission. So now, for example, you don't have this one third. So a party which is split, one third cannot get into this concept of being, or this concept where they can give, or they can go under the umbrella of split and escape disqualification. No, it does not happen now. So now you have to check what is this point which is there. So now one important. So now you can ask me, so how does this the party which is, or the in Maharashtra, how Shiv Sena and the whole thing is being organized? You can talk now why disqualification is not coming, because now there is a concept called as 2/3 members. See, if 2/3 members of the legislature, that is now Shiv Sena. So that is the issue which is being there in Maharashtra. That is why this news is in news. And 2/3 of the members of the Shiv Sena party have joined the other party. So in this case, it is BJP. So when you do that, that comes under something called as merger. It is not a split. So they are taking it as a merger of political parties, and this clause is what used in Maharashtra right now, and that is why, for example, this disqualification did not occur. This disqualification, if you can check it, has so many clauses or conditions. So when somebody gives up the membership, somebody votes against it, and somebody, for example, splits the party or something like that. But when 2/3 members split and they merge with the other party, you do not bring in this 10th schedule. But and one more example, recent example was this Goa. So Goa, there was a issue. If you think about it, this Goa case was also in news previously, and hence that is why the mains question was asked about 10th schedule as well. So you have to check. This was in 2019, where Congress and the regional party had joined BJP at that time, and the courts had said that 2/3 members. This is the point. The courts had said when 2/3 members join a political party, we can call it as a merger. And they also, and one more issue which is talked about in this editorial is that there is no, or if you think about it, there is no definition of what is this deemed merger. This is what this article talks about, or this article talks about a case where this merger between political parties means whether it is a merger between political parties itself, or only the members of the legislature, or members of the legislature. So let us assume that, see, in this case, what the 10th schedule says is that there has to be a merger of political parties as well. So for example, now legislatures from Indian National Congress and MGP have joined BJP. This is merger in a literal sense, but in this merger, if you think about it, INC or Indian National Congress and BJP cannot be merged, or in a literal sense they are ideologically different and they do not merge. So this kind of a gray area is present in this 10th schedule, is what that article talks about. But the Goa verdict, the Goa bench has given this clear verdict, or not clear verdict. They have said, so they, at the moment, what they mean is that 2/3 members of the legislature, that is 2/3 members of the MLAs, if they merge with the party which is there, so that means it is a merger. It does not necessitate INC, that is Indian National Congress, and BJP have to merge in a literal sense. So this is the legal verdict as of right now. So now one more case that you have to look at is, this is Goa's verdict which was there. One more case that you have to look at because of this happening in Maharashtra is that Kyoto Holohan. Very important. See, Cases are very important. Many cases are very important for mains, and hence please note it down. So mains 2022, anyone is writing, you please note it down, because in this case they have given a clear verdict, or they said that no judicial review before the decision of the speaker. What it means is that the speaker has to decide on the disqualification, only then the Supreme Court or the courts can come. And this can, for example, if you look at it, it's a very interesting thing where you can use this concept for separation of powers. So there is a concept called as separation of powers, where each pillar of this is given by, or this was given by Montesquieu during this French Revolution. The separation of power concept is there in the Indian constitution as well, where we have the separation between executive, legislature and the judiciary. So when you think of, and one more mains question is there, how we have this concept of separation power between legislature and judiciary. There is a concept. So now you can quote this verdict also, saying that, see how before the speaker, or before the verdict of the speaker, so before the decision of the speaker, the Supreme Court or the courts cannot interfere into this aspect of 10th schedule, and hence becoming, or having this concept of separation of power and independence of legislature and judiciary. So this is the point. So this is Quixote-Holohan, and what now is the issue? So it's, in politics, it's a very strange fact that so many things will happen. Now what has happened is that, so before the speaker has decided, so in this case deputy speaker, because speaker was not there, before the speaker, deputy speaker had decided on the disqualification, there was a no confidence motion against the, this is the point, there was a no confidence motion against the deputy speaker. So if you think about it, so when so I have this power of disqualifying you. So what happens is that before I disqualify you as a member for this 10th schedule, what I do is that I give a no confidence motion against you for your own removal. And this is the thing which has happened. So what has happened is that, so, and they have used this Nabam Rabia. So this is one more case that you should know. This is in 2016, where the Supreme Court has said that when the speaker shall not decide the disqualification case until the no confidence motion against him or her is disposed of. So what has happened is that in the case of Quixote-Holohan, there is no judicial intervention till the decision of the speaker. But there is also a decision called as Nabam Rabia, where they say that the no confidence motion against the speaker, if there is something like that, the speaker cannot decide on the disqualification. So now what the Shiv Sena MLAs who have, or two-third who have gone to the BJP have done is that they have given this no confidence motion against the speaker or the deputy speaker, and hence the Supreme Court, and that is the point, hence whether the deputy speaker can give or give the verdict of disqualification is what is the confusion right now. And this is a game of thrones which happens in politics a lot, and this is the issue that we have. But what we have to know is how to write this answer, or how to approach this 10th schedule as an answer. And in prelims examination, what happens? See, look at this. They have asked this question several times. And this 10th schedule question is always a very important anti-defection law. So look at this point. It's a very important question. And see, the law specifies that nominated member cannot join a political party within 6 months, they say. But it is an opposite. So look at this. If that person joins before, so they say that they can be disqualified if that person joins, the nominator cannot join. That is, they are saying that if the person joins within 6 months, they will be disqualified. But here what they say is that only disqualification is applied after 6 months. That is, if you join after 6 months. And also here they also talk about any independent any independent member, so one person would have independently won this election, and that person joined some party, INC or BJP, that person can be disqualified. So this also is there. So not only against the whip of the party and giving up the membership, also nominated members, after 6 months if they join, they will be disqualified. Independent member, if they join any political party, they will be disqualified. And this is the thing that you should know for preliminary examination. And I hope you had liked this video. And so the Minds of Aspirant Telegram group is there. You can please check that group. Many other updates are there in that also. And we are conducting, so I would like to end this video by saying that there is an anthropology batch. So I am going to take an anthropology batch for optionals. So you can check that. So that link also will be it will be present in this description, or will be present in the group as well. So you can check that as well. The details and the payment and the date and when it is starting, everything will be there. And there is also an anthropology telegram channel specially for anthropology optional. You can check that as well. And thank you for all the support that you have been giving. And if more such topics and issues have to be discussed, you can put it in your comments also, and we would be happy to make that video. Thank you all the best.